My story is how I learned the most important marriage lessons from a husband snatcher in my neighborhood. I asked my husband to give me some money to make my hair, but he told me he didn't have much on him, so he gave me just 3K. I was so angry with him. We have been married for a year, and each time I asked him for money, he would always give me an amount that would not be sufficient for what I needed it for. I had not gotten a job since I relocated to his place after the wedding, so I wasn't financially buoyant. I only lived on the stipends my husband gave me monthly, which wasn't even enough to cater for my personal needs. As at that time I was already 6 months pregnant, what will I do with 3K? I told you I want to braid my hair. The attachment alone is 6K. My hairdresser will collect at least 5K to make the hair. What will I do with this money? I asked angrily. Babe, you should understand how much I'm struggling to take care of expenses in this house. The money I spent on our wedding ceremony has really affected me, because I exhausted all my savings. The fact that I'm still able to put down money in this house is because of the soft loan I get from work every month. I've told you about this before. Please bear with me. It's just a season in time. We will soon get over it, my husband pleaded. Bear with me, bear with me. This is what you say all the time. What kind of hair will I make with 3K? I hissed angrily and walked out of the house. It was a sunny Saturday afternoon. I went straight to my hairdresser's shop, but unfortunately, she was not around. Her shop was locked. I was disappointed. Where on earth did this one go to on a weekend like this? I wondered. I didn't want to go back home without making my hair, so I decided to try the other hairdresser, who was on the 3rd street to my house. I have never made my hair there, but I once heard my neighbor mention that she was good at making nice styles. I just wanted to avoid going back home to my husband, because I was still very angry with him. I got to the salon and thankfully, only one customer was on seat. She was almost done making her hair. I greeted the hairdresser and she offered me a seat. Mummy twins, will you like to have some water? The sun is hot, the hairdresser offered. Pregnant women are usually addressed as mummy twins in my town. No, I'm fine, thank you. I declined politely. The lady she was making her hair was sitting with a friend. They both continued talking as the hairdresser continued her work, after ensuring I was relaxed. Few minutes later, I heard the lady who came with her friend say, "Hey Salome, see the guy I've been talking about? He's the one driving that car." The lady making her hair quickly turned her neck to peep through the door, and I followed her gaze to see the person being talked about. I was surprised to see my husband driving slowly past the shop. He slowed down the vehicle as he approached the bump that was across the road. I comported myself. The story was about to get more interesting. I listened with dedicated attention, even though my eyes were glued to my phone. "That is the guy," the lady continued. "There is nothing I have not done to attract his attention, but he would not even give me a second of his time. Every evening he visits his friend's shop, and they would gist till he would later go home. Since the day I met him there, I've been coming to that man's shop every evening just to make friends with this guy, but he never gave me the attention I desire. He would just greet me and carry his face. His friend told me he's married and I'm like, so what? Does that mean he shouldn't make friends with other ladies? Sincerely, I envy his wife. His attitude made me believe that there are still married men who are still faithful to their wives." The lady concluded. I was shocked. Shocked was an understatement. The guy being talked about was my husband, my lawfully wedded husband. I blinked my eyes severally. I continued to listen to their conversation. The other lady making her hair replied, "I think his wife gives him peace of mind at home. That is one thing that could make the man so focused on his wife. I mean, what other reason would have made him ignore a beautiful lady like you?" I agree with you. The hairdresser spoke for the first time since the conversation started. None of these ladies knew that the man who just drove past was my husband. I couldn't speak. I watched them argue about whether his wife gives him good sex, good food or peace of mind at home. They were arguing about me and they didn't know. I questioned myself if truly I gave my husband any of these 3 things, and if I would be sincere with myself, I wouldn't score up to 50% on any of them because I knew I could nag. If there's an award for nagging, I should get one. I don't make nice delicacies for my husband either, and talking about our intimate life, it has been epileptic since I got pregnant. There are still faithful men. Sincerely, the hairdresser's voice cut into my thoughts. I wish that guy is mine. The husband snatcher exhaled. God forbid, I said spontaneously. They all turned their eyes to my direction. What's that? The lady asked. Oh no, I just got a message from someone. I didn't know I was so loud. I lied. I was sweating where I sat. Before I got to the hairdresser's shop, My husband had called me twice, but I refused to pick up because I was still angry. I picked my phone instantly and dialed his number. Babe, I did not see you at your usual salon. Where are you making your hair? I've been calling you but you didn't pick up. My husband asked as soon as he picked my call. I gave him the description of the salon where I was. Okay, I'm coming there right away, he replied. In less than 3 minutes my husband arrived. He parked his car and entered the salon. The lady who was crushing on my husband was excited to see him. The guy is coming here, she whispered excitedly. I watched as she set her seductive eyes on my husband. As he opened the transparent glass door, I walked up to him and he gave me a passionate hug. The ladies were shocked, likewise the hairdresser. They could not look at me in the eye. They fumbled with their phones as my husband planted a kiss on my forehead. There was a perfect silence as my husband and I chatted on. Soon the lady got through with her hair, and they left the salon shamefully. My husband was the only one that didn't know what was happening. Madam, which hairstyle are you making? The hairdresser asked me, trying to use a fake smile to cover up what just happened. I'm okay with a simple cornrow style, please, I replied. In less than an hour I was done. I paid the hairdresser, and I asked my husband to take me to the neighborhood market. I took some money from my savings account, added it to the balance from the money my husband gave me for the hair, and I got some pepper soup ingredients with goat meat. We went back home, and I made a nice delicacy for my husband, who was surprised at my sudden change of action. He had earlier come to the salon to keep my company and appease my anger. He was marveled to see me loving up on him and making him some pepper soup. In the night, I gave him the best bedroom treat he hadn't accessed from me in a long time. He was so happy that he bought me a fashionable bag and a pair of shoes the following day. Where did you get the money to buy these? I asked him happily. I don't mind taking more soft loans at work to make you happy. Last night was a memorable one. He smiled brightly as I tried the shoes on. Since that day, I never took my husband for granted again. I stopped nagging around the house, and I was contented with whatever amount he gave me to cook or do other things. I have learnt my lessons outside of classroom. I just had a marriage course without tuition. The husband I felt was not doing enough was another person's dream man. He is the perfect man I ever wanted from God. He is my imperfect perfection. I hope you learnt something from my story. Value what you have, some don't have it.